Do you want to speak German like a native? Most natives in any language use slang words and phrases. This is the same with Germans too. So in this video, I'm going to share with you common slang phrases and words that only exist in German so that you can express yourself more like a native. If we haven't met yet, hallo und herzlich willkommen. I'm Salome, a certified native German teacher and polyglot from Frankfurt. If you want to learn authentic German and build your confidence in your conversational skills, then you're in the right place. The purpose of Speak Fluent German is to help you build your German language skills so that you can feel more at home in the German-speaking countries. So if this sounds good to you, then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my weekly lessons. Today, I'm not alone. This is Robin. He's from the south of Germany, close to Stuttgart, and together we will go through some of the common German slangs and also words that only exist in German. We will break them down for you and hopefully you can incorporate these in your next conversation with a native. Herzlich willkommen, Robin, bei Speak Fluent German.
Hallo zusammen.
Bist du bereit?
Jawohl.
Los geht's! So the first word we're going to take a look at is the word Yain, which is a combination of ja and nein. When exactly would we use this word Yain?
I would say we use it when we are torn between two decisions and we're not sure if it's a yes or a no.
So for example, if a friend asks you, did you have a good weekend? Hattest du ein schönes Wochenende? You could say,
Ein Teil davon war schön, der andere nicht so schön, also jein.
the next expression we use very often as a greeting as well is the word Mahlzeit, which technically means mealtime, or it could also just mean the meal. When do we actually use it and at what time of the day?
So we use it during lunchtime if we come in, for example, into a restaurant or a canteen and we want to wish everyone a good appetite or greet everyone in the room.
Exactly. And in the corporate world, for example, in a German speaking company or with German speaking colleagues, you can also use that as a greeting in the hallway, for example, when you bump into your colleagues during lunchtime. The next phrase that we use very often is mach's gut. Mach's is actually a combination of mach es. So mach's gut literally translated means do it well or make it well. But when do we use that, Robin?
I would say if we say goodbye to a friend and instead of saying just bye, we would be like, mach's gut, do well, farewell.
Take care, basically.
Yes.
Important here to note, though, is that mach's gut is the informal version, so we would use that with friends and family. For formal settings, you will need to use the pronoun Sie. So in that context, we would say machen Sie's gut. The next word is actually a verb, which is spinnen in German. Spinnen or die Spinne is technically the spider. When would we say that someone spiders?
So if someone has crazy thoughts going on in his mind, then he would be like, ich glaube, ich spinne. I think I spider, basically.
Exactly. We can also use that if someone comes up with a totally crazy idea that we don't agree with. We could also say in that context, ich glaube, du spinnst. I think you're going crazy. Another phrase that is commonly used as well is Quatsch mit Soße. So Quatsch means nonsense, and die Soße is the sauce. Nonsense with sauce, what does it really mean, Robin?
We use it to actually exaggerate the nonsense that the other one is producing. And that's when we say, that's just nonsense. That is nonsense served with sauce. Das ist Quatsch mit Soße.
Exactly. So, for example, if a friend is telling you a completely crazy story that you don't believe, you can say, Das ist doch Quatsch mit Soße. Yeah, this is nonsense with sauce. The next phrase that we use among friends very often is the term ist gebongt. What does it really mean? Ist gebongt.
So we use it as a confirmation if someone asks you if you want to go out tomorrow and you'll be like, yeah, sure. Is this gebongt? Like, we have a deal.
So, for example, if I want to ask a friend for help, I could say, Kannst du mir helfen? And if that friend says, Ist gebongt, it basically is a deal and they're going to help you out. Another phrase we use all the time is gehüpft wie gesprungen. Gehüpft stems from the verb hüpfen, which means to hop in English, and gesprungen stems from the verb springen, which means to jump. In what kind of context do we use this phrase?
So, as you might have noticed already, jumping and hopping is basically the same, and this is what the sentence wants to tell us. For example, if someone asks you if you want to go to the beach for a swim or to the pool, you would say like, das ist doch gehüpft wie gesprungen. It's one thing is basically like the other, because it doesn't matter if we want to go swimming at the pool or the beach, we want to go swimming, and that's what matters.
The next expression is actually something a student asked me recently because she heard her colleagues say this all the time, which is boah, Alter, or just Alter, which technically means the old one, but in that context in the office, they were not talking about an old person. What exactly are we trying to express with Alter?
With that one, we want to express kind of like our frustration because we're annoyed by the person not getting the idea, for example. So you would say, boah, Alter, warum verstehst du das nicht? Then you would say, dude, why don't you get it?
In the context where my student was hearing it was basically when the colleague was receiving annoying emails and he wanted to express his frustration and annoyance about that. The next word native also like to use is the word Dingenskirchen. Dingens is the thingy, and die Kirche is technically the church, but we're not talking about a thingy church in this context. Was meinen wir damit?
So when we use Dingenskirchen, we wanted to describe a location, but we don't know the name yet. So we give ourselves time, and instead of saying we will like, der Ort heißt Dingenskirchen. The name is Dingenskirchen. And therefore we have much more time to think about it.
Exactly. So, for example, if a friend asks you, oh, wo war das Restaurant? Where was the restaurant? And you're not quite sure, you can simply answer with, es war in Dingenskirchen. Another phrase natives use very often as well is the phrase Holla die Waldfee, Holy the Forest Fairy.
So in that case, you would express that you're surprised. For example, a friend does a backflip right in front of you, then you would be like, holy moly, holy the forest fairy. Ach du meine Güte, holla die Waldfee.
The next phrase you definitely only want to use with friends or in a colloquial setting, which is sag mal geht's noch oder sag mal hackt's, or sometimes when we speak very fast we would drop syllables here and there and then it would just become sag mal oder sag mal geht's noch. Was genau bedeutet das?
In this case, it's basically what we mentioned before. We are annoyed again. Then we would be like, sag mal, like, damn it, or damn.
So, for example, if someone bumps into you on the streets and is being really rude and not apologizing, you can then basically say, sag mal, geht's noch, in order to express, hey, that was pretty rude what you just did.
Or also that you want to express that you felt offended by that person.
The next expression we use all the time as well is keinen Bock mehr haben. Maybe you know the term keine Lust haben, to not feel like it. This is basically used as a synonym and sounds more like a slang phrase because der Bock is technically a male goat, so to not have a male goat also means to not feel like it. And what kind of scenario or example would you use it, Robin?
I would use it if a friend asked me if I want to go out tonight, and I would be like, I don't feel like it. Ich habe keinen Bock rauszugehen. I don't feel like going out tonight.
Or another example, if you don't feel like doing your German homework, you can also say, ich habe keinen Bock auf Hausaufgaben. Hopefully that's not the case most of the time. The next phrase we also use very often is jemanden auf den Keks gehen, to go someone on the cookie. Der Keks is the cookie. What are we trying to express with this?
So in that case, you would use it if someone is stressing you out, and then you would respond, geh mir nicht auf den Keks. Like, don't stress me out now.
Or if someone else is annoying you and you're telling your friend about it, you can say, boah, Alter, der geht mir richtig auf den Keks. If you enjoyed watching, then definitely make sure you subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell to get notified for next week's video, in which we will compare Swabian, which Robin is an expert about. It's a German dialect in South Germany, and we will compare this to High German. It's gonna be a super fun video, which you definitely don't want to miss out on. Das ist alles für heute. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal.
Tschüss!